I'm not trying to brag, but this year's Thanksgiving feast was the best I've ever made. My family was blown away by how good it was. So what was the secret? Well, you may be surprised to learn that it had very little to do with the actual food itself, or the ingredients, or the recipes that I had chosen. I chose to do one thing differently this year that I hadn't done in years past. And now that I've changed, I am never going back to cooking the same way again. What is the secret? That's on this episode of Cookin' with Kibby. Cookin' with Kibby. We'll make some yummy food. Cookin' with Kibby, yeah. Something that rhymes with food. So put on an apron and grab you a knife. You're gonna have the time of your life. Cooking and cutting and chopping and mixing and stirring and cooking and cutting and stuff. Cooking with Kibby. 'Cause Kibby's your cooking dude. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Cookin' with Kibby is here to help you and your family get back into the kitchen, cooking and eating together, because I believe life is better when we're cooking together. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button somewhere down here below this video and ring the bell for notifications so that the algorithms will let you know the next time I'm publishing some more information like this. Last week was Thanksgiving, and the feast that I prepared for and with my family was the best I'd ever done. And I'm really not doing that with a sense of pride. I mean, a healthy amount of pride in how things turned out. As I'm reflecting back on what I did last week, I noticed that there was one thing that I changed about the way I cooked. Now, there are some things that stayed the same. I do have a traditional holiday menu, which, as I talked about in this video right here, having a static holiday menu year after year is such a helpful tool to allow you to be more present for yourself and for your family and for the cooking process. I'll let you watch that to hear more. The other thing that I did, as I've done for many other meals in the past, is I went through my 4 steps of planning a major meal. The kind of thing that I always did as a caterer, to plan for a meal for a large amount of people. And again, I shared with you those 4 steps for planning a major meal in this video right here. Please feel free to go and watch those before we get to the juicy stuff in this video. So, what did I do differently? Well, the thing I did differently really goes back to some of the things that I've already reflected upon, both in my podcast and here on this channel, and specifically this video right here that I shared a few weeks ago. That my mindset and perspective around food and cooking have changed quite a bit as a result of 2020 and all the chaos that has taken place, and more specifically, the increasing amount of time that I've had to be in the kitchen with my family. This year, I took it upon myself to look for more opportunities to involve other members of my family in the process of making the meal, whether it's scrubbing potatoes or cracking eggs or mixing batter or watching something that's cooking on the stovetop. There are so many things that I could willingly and acceptingly hand off to other people in order to do. And that is a major accomplishment for me because as a chef and as a dude, I take a lot of pride in my food. And the holiday season is one of those times, one of those few times out of the year when I'm preparing a meal for more than just my immediate family. It's a time when extended family will come sometimes from out of town or even out of state. They know that I'm a chef, and they know that I'm capable of great things. And so I'm being really real with you guys right now. I hope you're appreciating this. I take a lot of pride in my ability to prepare an amazing meal for my family. And I'm sure many of you can relate to this as well, that puts such a heavy burden on me. And man, I didn't think I was going to get choked up here. The thing that I decided to do this year differently was that I decided to put behind my fear of failure. and I decided to trust in my own ability to cook well, and decided that I was going to enjoy the process of cooking this food for my family. And what that allowed me to do was to put behind me all the anxiety and worry about how all the steps in the process were going to go, because I trusted in my plan. I had done the planning, I had done the delegating, and I decided to believe in my ability to commit to that plan and to do it well. And you know what's really interesting about that? You would think that having done all this planning and then putting all this trust in myself, that everything went smoothly. That's what you would expect to hear, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Because things didn't go as planned. There were some steps in the process where I was able to take a look at what I was doing and realizing this ain't working. I've got to change midstream my plan. I'm going to have to stop doing this and do something else. Yes, I want the food to turn out well, obviously, but I wasn't going to let that define me. It allowed me to remove the anxiety around things that went wrong and just roll with it and have fun with it, enjoy it, and enjoy my ability to take those issues and to deal with them in a healthy way. Plus, that's just another example of an opportunity that I got to show my kiddos who were there in the kitchen with me that stuff goes wrong for me too, just as it does for them. And it was another opportunity to model to them how they can behave when things inevitably go wrong. There's no amount of planning that you can do to prevent mistakes and problems from arising. Eventually, you just have to face them and move on. And I was able to do that. And the amazing result of that, the food actually came out better. I mean, how wild is that? And that's so freeing. And that's what I want for you. I want you to experience... I want you to experience that same freedom. I know that the next time you and I come to the kitchen to prepare a big meal for much of our extended family, that pressure is going to come back. It's going to creep up on us. You and I are going to feel justified in feeling that way, because we know in our heart of hearts that eventually we're going to want to be able to take a photograph of this Thanksgiving or Christmas or holiday plate and to post it on Instagram and to share the recipes with our friends and family and our followers. We want our families to be impressed by us and to see us the way we want to be seen, as people who are capable in the kitchen. That can be so poisonous to our ability to be present during the process of cooking, not just for our families, but also with them. And so I am encouraging you from experience, from having experienced this finally for the first time this year, to let go of your fear of failure. Trust in your ability to make a plan, to cook recipes that you've already prepared in the past, and to let go of the fear of failure and enjoy the process. And you may be surprised that your food may turn out just as good, if not better. So let's recap. The 3 ingredients to this recipe of a successful and memorable holiday meal is, first, planning and utilizing a traditional menu year after year. And then 2, taking that traditional menu and putting together a well thought out plan. And then 3rd, trusting in yourself. Trusting in your ability to prepare these dishes again, trusting in your ability to formulate a plan and to delegate those steps in other people, and to forget about fearing failure and knowing that no matter what happens, no matter if the turkey gets burnt or the dressing turns out dry, that you will have done this not just for, but with your family. And that is what is more important than what is on the plate or what's going to be posted on Instagram or TikTok or any of those places. It's about the relationships, and it's about creating memories. I hope you've taken that to heart, and I hope you will remember that the next time that pressure and that anxiety and that stress starts to bubble up inside of you. What are going to be your next steps to implementing these ideas in your own kitchen? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments section of this video. And again, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and be awaiting patiently by your computer or smart device for the next piece of content that I publish, because I am in your corner. I would love for you to be empowered and enriched in sharing this kitchen with your family, because life is better when we're cooking together. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the kitchen.